Hey, and welcome back to Tragick TV. And wow, it's been a while, but I like the whole Spreaker thing. So I hope that people enjoy the return of more Tragick videos. And this is being broadcast Twitter, Facebook. You'll hear more from Tragick live or on Spreaker. I'm going to do some shows here. Really cold outside, I will say tonight. You'll hear about that later on, why I'm cold. Anyways, the return of 14 bands. This return kind of comes as a shock, I think, to some people. And if nobody's ever heard of my 14 bands, you need to definitely check out the video playlist of 14 bands and all the bands I've covered in the past. Really, it's a great little series that I have, and I hated it for the longest time, and I'm probably not going to do it all the time. I started to do something called the Spotlight 5, to kind of break it down, but I kind of miss doing the 14 bands because it gives me something to do, and also lets me find new music. Now, I'm not going to really take the time sometimes to go and search and weave and web great bands together for a list. A lot of times I weave and then I stop and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go grab another band, and I'm going to weave through YouTube and find good bands for you guys to listen to. So I want to go ahead and start this off, get the show started. 30 minutes, that's what it's going to be. I'm going to run pretty close to the time limit here on Spreaker. And this is going to be shared on YouTube, so it's great. I'm not going to really beat around the bush, and I'm not really looking for Spreaker audience members. But hey, if I find them along the way, I will be glad to, bring them along for the ride. But definitely go over to YouTube, check out the Tragick channel. And also continue to listen right here on Spreaker. Now let's go ahead and start this show. Start the 14 bands list. That's what I'm going to start the show off with, and then after I'll rant and talk about some other music that may necessarily not have been on a list before, but I'll talk about news concerning some of those bands, the bands I just kind of want to talk about that I talked about before in the past. First band is called Wolves Like Us. Now, I want to repeat that if you've never heard of my 14 bands things, I put them on a list underneath my YouTube video, and I have a link to one song from the bands, and then it gives you a chance to go to that video, listen to what they sound like, and then you can more explore other songs by them wherever you want. Their website page, do your research, look into them more if you end up being a bigger fan of them. But let's get started. Wolves Like Us, basically a rock band. I don't really know if they're my cup of tea or not, and I'm going to say that a lot. That's kind of my way of saying that I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of them, but they produce somewhat good music that somebody probably likes out there, and maybe it's just because that they're kind of new and they haven't really grown on me that much, but they're okay. They're rock, kind of a hard rock, but it kind of comes off kind of bland, I guess, so to speak. So that's what kind of leaves me hanging there. So you'll have to check them out. You'll probably, kind of feel what I'm talking about. It's like, it sounds like they're singing, and they're good songs, but they're not good songs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like that Metallica song that you think, well, it's a decent Metallica song, but it's not one of their best. And that's the way all the Wolves Like Us songs kind of sound like. At least on the song that I heard. I listened to like 4 or 5 songs, and I'm like, well, I can't really find one to really say that I really like this band, so I'm not going to be able to endorse them fully. So check them out. You'll probably know what I'm talking about. Yeah, if I could talk. The next band is Memphis May Fire. I think that I've covered this band before, and I think I liked them before in the past. So, I'll talk about them and what I think about them now, but I'm pretty sure I've covered this band in the past. So if you go back, I don't know what the heck that was. I just made some weird sound. Anyway, moving on. Memphis May Fire, a rock band. Kind of has some synth music, synthesizer, keyboard kind of sounding things in the background, hard rock. I'm going to say no on this band as well. This is the new style of music. If you like the new style of metal, then you're probably going to like Memphis May Fire. Some people don't like it. I was reading the comments down below. They just don't think the newest album is as good as the previous albums. So that may be why. But this is the first time I remember hearing them, so I'm not a big fan. They're decent. If you like that kind of music, you'll probably like it. And it's kind of hard to explain their music. Kind of like indie metal, I guess, so to speak. I don't know. Check them out. Let me know. This next band is called Bury Tomorrow, and they're metal. Really good band, and I'm hearing there was some great comments down below, and everything was good that I heard about them in the comments. And then I listened to them, and I'm like, they're pretty dang good. I mean, they're not bad. I think they're from Europe somewhere. I want to say Sweden, but I'm probably wrong. But I know they're from overseas, guaranteed, and they haven't came to the U.S. yet, I don't think. But they're really good. They have a screamer, and they have a singer that is amazing. And, well, not amazing, but he's a good singer. And the screamer is just as good, and they mesh well together. It kind of reminds me of, like, a male version of Lacuna Coil, where they got the screaming and the singing down like pat. Like, they got it to a T that, you know, everything sounds good by them. And I'm not saying Lacuna Coil, everything sounds good, but but this band, it sounds pretty amazing. I listened to, I think, I only listened to one song, but they sound pretty good. I would check Bury Tomorrow out. Tell me what you think. Now I'm going to get off of the hard rock, and I only did one metal song. It's because usually I do like tons of metal songs, because they're easy to find. I'm subscribed to a lot of metal songs. If you can give me a YouTube records channel, or one that uploads a lot of like metal or stuff, definitely shoot it my way. It'll help me in my weaving in and out of YouTube, and whatever. If you want to know more about that, you can go to listen to my other 14 bands. I think I've talked about it before, about how I find my music. There you go. Alright, so number 4 is Gypsy Death Star. And once again, I don't do these in any order. It's just the way I found them, kind of. And then at the end, I kind of pick like a major band to be at the end to talk about, because they don't need no help. Gypsy Death Star is number 4. And this is kind of like alternative rock, indie music. I don't really want to say that, like, an alternative rock person isn't going to like it, because it sounded okay. Like, it sounded something like a Radiohead, but then again, everything sounds like indie to me, sounds like Radiohead to me. But I'm not a Radiohead fan either, so that kind of makes you want to think. But it was okay. The song wasn't bad. There's a link down below them, and you can check that out. It wasn't bad. I would probably listen to it if I was just chilling, you know, but anything else, you know, I'm not sure about. Another band, number 5 is Altar of, I'm going to screw this word up. You're just going to have to read number 5 down there. Betelgeuze. Basically stoner rock metal. Stoner rock metal, yeah, it's basically what it is. So without a doubt, check them out. And let me know what you think about them as well. I got another stoner rock band. I thought I did. Okay, no I don't. The other way around. The next one is Johnny Richter. Now, Johnny Richter is a member, well, former member of the Cottonmouth Kings. And I'll talk about Cottonmouth Kings at the end a little bit. Johnny Richter is no longer in Cottonmouth Kings, but I guess they still affiliate themselves with each other just because they kind of have to. Because they know that he's as good as he is. He just doesn't want to be a part of the Cottonmouth Kings anymore, so he's not in that group anymore. He will not be performing in that group. He may do some special appearances from here to there, but he's no longer officially in the Cottonmouth Kings. But he's a great rapper. I would call him stoner rap. Really good, Johnny Richter. People have debates, but, you know, listen to him, check it out. If you're not into, like, weed or anything like that, you know, that doesn't mean you can't listen to this music, because I've barely ever smoked weed, and I like the music. I like the music aspect of it, so from that point, you know, check it out, because if you like good rap, then it's what Johnny Richter and the Cottonmouth Kings do. The next one is number 7 is, I don't even know how you say this, DGAF, whatever, a rap group within Suburban Noise, which is the record company that Cottonmouth Kings created, Daddy X owns, whatever. I don't know who actually owns it, Cottonmouth Kings or Daddy X. I think Daddy X does. They're stoner rap as well. They kind of like a, I don't want to say like a gangster rap kind of feel to them, but they kind of got like gangsta, like stoner rap thing going on. The song I heard, but I mean, I think they could go either way. So check them out. Tell me what you think. A lot of people are saying good stuff about DGAF or DGF. They're pretty good. Number 8 is Ghost. they kind of sound like classic metal, and I don't know how long they've been around, so I'm going to be honest about that. So I'm reviewing a band that I somewhat don't know the history of. But a lot of bands nowadays, they may have been around a long time, but now is the time. Like, if you've been around a while or you've been touring a while, this is the time to put all your money in and, go on tour with someone that is well known, that understands that you've been on the underground. But now, everything's in the mainstream. Like, you can reach out and type in one name and it pops up, and you can definitely get your name out there quicker than you could in the past. So I don't know how long they've been around, but they're kind of a classic metal sound to them. Kind of interesting look. Once you see them, don't, turn just because of what they look like and things they're singing about. They do have some great, music and stuff. Number 9, it's kind of like a blues rock kind of band I'm going to talk about, and they're called, Frank, Sultana, and the Sinister Kids. Wasn't sure what they were going to start singing like. I was hoping it was going to be like some kind of bluegrass thing, but it ended up being a bluesy kind of rock, and I put a really good video on there of them being on tour. I'm moving the tablet around, so if you're banging, that's why. Frank, Sultana, and the Sinister Kids, they're really good. I would check them out. If you like bluesy kind of rock, if you go out to the bar every once in a while, and you go to a jazz club that kind of sings the blues and stuff like that, this is probably what you've heard. Nothing new, nothing really fresh about this. It's what you hear. If you heard a blues band before, this is what it is. Nothing special, but they're a good band. That's all there is to it. I could say it's a crappy band, but no, they're pretty good. I heard a couple songs. I listed one link below that on the thing below. Number 10 is Oh My God. This band that's not the name of the band. The name of the band is Postmodern Jukebox. With that being said, I believe the piano player is named Scott Bradley, and this is a really, really awesome and creative way to have a band. And the reason why I say this is that he always plays the piano. He is always in the band, no matter what. But the singers are really rotating. And I don't really know if this is a touring band. I think it may just be something for YouTube. But if they do shows, I'm guessing it's with his female front person that is with him on here. And her name is Robyn Adele Anderson. She is awesome, and I don't know why it came up said something about America's Got Talent, but nothing came up. So I don't know if she was on America's Got Talent this year, last year, year before, in the past, but her name came up with America's Got Talent next to it. So if anybody knows why, there you go. A Postmodern I'm having trouble talking tonight. Postmodern Jukebox, pretty good. Check them out, and you'll hear a different bunch of singers that are with them as well. They do have a rotating singer sometimes where they try different things. Pretty neat. Crazy covers. Number 11, Stone Temple Pilots. And I know you're saying, why are you talking about Stone Temple Pilots? And I think I may have reviewed this in the past, but this never came to be before I did 14 bands in the past. So I may have talked about Stone Temple Pilots in the past, but I never talked about Stone Temple Pilots of the current. Now the reason why I'm bringing this up is they are now coming back out with a new singer, Chester Bennington from Linkin Park. And I know the comments, I was reading the comments, the video that I'm going to post is basically them hyping the EP that they dropped this year. I think at the beginning of this year, the really tail end of 2013. I'm trying to think what the name of it was. High Rise, I think it's the name of the EP. Anyway, really good stuff. I don't understand. I think people are always going to get pissed when the lead singer, isn't on there anymore, and they replace the original singer. They're always going to get mad, and all you can say is, well, they're not doing very well, or, hey, they decided they wanted to do drugs instead of become a lead singer. And that's why usually it happens. It's either that or, either the band or the singer become assholes, and they just can't coexist. And this is probably this is the drugs one, and, Chester Bennington, good guy. This is his third band, basically, so that's pretty cool. I'm trying to think of that second band he's in, but that'll probably be on another 14 bands in the future. But he's got a third band. I know he's Stone Temple Pilots, and he's doing Linkin Park on the side. or Linkin Park is his main band. Stone Temple Pilots, when he has a chance, he'll do it. But now he has a third band, so I don't know how that's going to work. But good stuff by Stone Temple Pilots. I don't think he does a bad job at doing the originals, but as long as he can come out and give the fans, the best that he can give them, of those original songs. I think most people said he does most of the songs pretty good. Just some songs he has trouble with. And it's just that, it's like he's going to find out the good songs he can sing, and he can work on the ones that he can't sing as well. Or, hey, he can just be a jackass and let somebody else come up and sing those songs that knows how to sing them. That would be awesome. Have a fan come on stage and sing the one he can't sing. But anyway, Stone Temple Pilots, great band. If you haven't heard any of them, you got to check them out. They're really good. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I respect what they've done in the rock business. Next, I'm going to go into some rap here at the end. I always like to mix everything up and give you a little bit of everything in 14 bands, and I try and do that. But a lot of times I didn't get no country today, though. Sorry about that. But number 11 was Stone Temple Pilots. Number 12, Young Jeezy. Yeah, I know. It took me a while. I haven't really ever listened to Young Jeezy before, and I know he's been around a while. But I listened tonight. Pretty decent stuff. I don't think he's that bad. I think he's really good. I only listened to a couple of the songs. Sounded pretty decent. He sounds like a good rapper compared to some of the other people out there. So I would check out Young Jeezy if you've never heard him. Number 13. This one I thought I wish it could be better. But 2 Chainz. I listened to this dude's songs, and it's really horrible. It's almost like Too Short had a kid, and he wanted to be a rapper. And this is his birth. And this rapper has some okay songs, and people love him to death. And I mean, I'm sorry, this whole new rap generation that we have now, it's horrendous. I'm sorry, it's bad, it's horrible. Some of the stuff I can't even listen to. Like, I don't understand, because they'll be so blatant about what they're talking about, what they're singing about, that sometimes you're like, really? You could have hid some innuendos in there or something, It just doesn't sound good to saying it straightforward. And you can listen to his songs and see what I mean. He's okay. I'm unsure about him, though. I'm not sure. I would probably honestly say no. I probably won't ever listen to him again unless he's with someone on a song. And then he's probably okay. He's one of those rappers that are probably okay in short doses. With that being said, we come to the close of the 14 bands with about 12 minutes remaining. Hey, I still got time to chat. Chat it up at the end. Oh, yeah. All right. Number 14, Jason Derulo. And I know people are saying, what the hell are you talking about Jason Derulo for? He's a pop star. Well, see, he has a little song called Talk Dirty that I think everybody has, if you listen to pop music or listen to top music radio stations, you've been hypnotized by this song. And me being basically a metal guy and a hard rock guy, and I like rap too, but this song is just something about it. It feels old school rap to me. And listening to this takes me back and makes me want to listen to House of Pain. And I know a few nights, in the past, month or so, I've actually heard that song on the radio that day or that night before, and it makes me want to listen to House of Pain or the old stuff, because it kind of gets me in the vibe, like, to listen to that, or Vanilla Ice, and not even Vanilla Ice's old stuff, his kind of current stuff, because that's the kind of vibe I get from this song, the Talk Dirty to Me song. But Jason Derulo, now his pop stuff, I'm not a big fan of everything, but Talk Dirty, great song. He has another song too, it wasn't too bad. But there is a link to Talk Dirty down below. You can check that song out. If you haven't heard it, if you haven't heard Talk Dirty, you've been living under a rock, or you just don't like this kind of music. And if you don't like this kind of music, you've got to hear it once, just to say you've heard it, because this song is probably one of the songs of probably this decade that we will never ever forget, because it's one of those songs that people will never forget in the year 2013. I think it came out in 2013 that it came out, and no one will ever forget it, because it's going to be one of those that's probably going to go on for the next 3 or 4 years that people are going to continue to listen to. It's one of those songs. Going on from that, I'm trying to think what I was going to discuss a second ago. What was I talking about here a moment ago? I said I was going to go back to. I forget. Oh, Johnny Richter. So, Johnny Richter, no longer with the Cottonmouth Kings. And this is not new news. It's not new. And I think Corporate Avengers, I don't know if both of them are gone. all the band of Corporate Avengers gone? I think that they're not with Suburban Noise either. And I don't know what's going on with that. I don't understand. But I like Suburban Noise. And if you follow Suburban Noise, then you know that it's about weed. That's all they mostly sing about. How can you be mad? You know, if you're singing about that all the time. But great music from all of them, and whether they're with Suburban Noise or not, they're going to continue to produce great music. You know, people who want to hate on why they left, or, you know, hate on one or the other, it's just, you know, egos become egos, and egos can't deal with egos, so they have to go elsewhere, and they have to, you know, they think they're bigger than the other person, and so forth, and just, there's no one person that's at fault. It's both of them. So, you know, one couldn't be the man enough to say, okay, you're right. You know, they had to go their separate ways, and I think Johnny Richter is one of those people who, I think just from watching music videos, you could tell he probably was going to have a big ego one way or the other down the road, because I think people looked at him, and people say, oh, well, he don't write his own lyrics. Well, half the pop artists don't write their own lyrics, but he can perform the lyrics. Even if he is not writing his lyrics, he can perform them very well compared to the other people. He comes off clean. D-Lo kind of comes off clean, but in a way kind of dirty that people like him. So, and Daddy X, well, he's kind of not. Daddy X is kind of the guy I never really liked at all in Cottonmouth King. So, if I want to explain anything about what I like about Cottonmouth Kings, it's D-Lo and Richter, and now they're saying, I think, that Dirtball is now the guy who replaced Richter. I'm thinking that's what I heard. So I haven't heard much of Dirtball. I hear a little bit of him. He's okay. Nothing. Rappers are rappers. Half the rappers in Suburban Noise Records, they're amazing. So there's hardly a bad rapper. And sadly to say, one of the worst rappers I thought on the label passed away, Pakalika. He was okay, but he wasn't the best. I thought he was okay, and I respected him, for going down that road to Cottonmouth Kings, being with them for so long. But I also thought he was one of the worst rappers on Suburban Noise, and he passed away, rest in peace. But, I respected him for what he did for the group, and, he was with them the whole time, and, he stuck by him side by side, until the very end. With that being said, Postmodern Jukebox I just talked about, and this is what I kind of want to do from now on. I kind of want to do, do the list, and I want to go back and kind of talk about them a little bit. Postmodern Jukebox, Robyn Adele Anderson, definitely check her out. You just type her name in. Well, that's really long to think about. Type of Scott Bradley, or Postmodern, or Jukebox. Well, don't talk about that. Anyway, but I was typing up to blah, blah, blah. I was typing up Talk Dirty to Me covers. Talk Dirty to Me is a bad thing to type in because it comes up with Poison songs. I did not know that. I found that out very, very easily that night I started looking for those. But I came up with that. They do a cover of that. They do a cover of Timber. They do a cover, and they do them in different styles, like 50s style, 70s style, bluegrass style, different covers, and it's just amazing what they do. So definitely check out Postmodern Jukebox if you want to hear those kind of, if you're into those kind of things. There you go. It's just awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Music-wise, not a lot going on. I need to get more into the music news. Get more channels on YouTube that I can look into and hear about music news. I don't really have like a good outlet to go look and see, okay, well, what's going on here? Because all I really care about is metal, to be quite honest, to what's going on in that kind of scene. But I do follow a lot of hard rock and things like that, and when they come out with new albums, I do see. I haven't been paying attention lately, so I didn't really notice anything major before I came out or in the past few weeks that's come out that worth really anything talking about. I do want to talk about something that's really, really annoying, and it's something on Spotify that I don't know what if nobody's paying attention, the Spotify management or what, but like there's people who have the same name as like some hard rock bands, like some rappers will, and they will basically have the same name, and when they drop an album, we will be like, oh, they got a new album out, and then we go to look at it and you're like, it's the damn rapper, I don't care about them. And a good example is Dope. it said Dope had a new album out. And the name of the album, didn't sound anything like, okay, they got a new album out. I went to go look at it, and it's a rapper. And I'm like, really? Really? And I know that there was another rapper named Dope on there because I went down and I seen all the albums of them, and he was at the bottom. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? It's like, do they edit their pages at all? Like, can you report this, or what can you do? A way to get it off there, because it's really annoying. And that person, they had to have done it, or they don't do the research, If you're going to be an artist, if you're going to be a musician, you need to at least do research and say, okay, well, does anyone have this name out there? And if they do, put a freaking another P on there, put something on there, put, I don't know, like, find a way to differentiate, I can't even say that word, separate yourself from that other band, because it's stupid, and people are probably going to think that you're trying to piggyback off of them, and if they are, then, congratulations, because it's not going to work, because those guys that like Dope are not going to like you. They're completely different kind of music, and if you're going to do that, at least do it to another freaking rapper out there, so at least you get the same genre of people. It's like, it's a freaking long shot that you're going to get people to listen to Dope that like your stuff. That's all I'm saying. It's a long shot, let me tell you. What they sing about and what the Dope guy sings about, the rapper, way out there. But I do like Dope. I talked about them in a few past on 14 Bands. I continue to like them. If you haven't heard Dope in a long time, Felons and Revolutionaries, I believe is the name of the album, and it's hard to say that really fast. But I seen them live with Stained, POD, and Crazy Town back in the day. I think it was around right after high school ended, 2000, 2001, something like that. And it was a pretty awesome show. I remember seeing that, and it was one of those shows that blew me away, how good Crazy Town was live, and how good POD was, and Stained was, and then Dope just, happened to be there, and was just a great show, Of course, POD, or was it POD? No, Stained in the night. It was Stained headlining, POD underneath them, Crazy Town, and then Dope, I think. No, Crazy Town came on first. That's what it was. Crazy Town came on first, and then it was Dope, and then it was POD, and then Stained. That's how it was. I'm pretty sure. I don't think POD headlined. Nah, I'm pretty sure. I wasn't really into POD at that time, so I don't really remember who was headlining or not. So I like POD, but not that much. So that was a great concert. And Dope, going back to Dope, they're a great band. They've been around for a while, and they continue to evolve. Trip Edson, I think, whatever his name is. He's awesome. I like him. Wednesday 13. Wow, this guy, he pumped out a new album in 2013. Didn't get to really talk much about it. You haven't heard Wednesday 13's 2013 album. I think it was 2013, maybe 2012. I'm pretty sure he came out with one in 2013. It may have been like a best ever kind of something, but great stuff. Awesome stuff. There you go. Well, it's about 30 minutes, so I think I'm going to cut it short and do the last video so I can end it for tonight with the broadcast. The next video, the next blah, blah, I can't even talk tonight at all. Well, I'm going to end it before I start babbling and nothing makes sense anymore. But thank you for watching and tuning in to Tragick TV, even though it's only audio. I know, shut up. Don't even make a comment about that. Anyways, thank you for listening. This has been Tragick TV. Keep rocking.